Alright, I'm going to make this video to show you how I use this tool to create jigs on the fly. I haven't tried it with a lot of shapes, but I don't see why I couldn't do it with circles as well as squares, or even smaller shapes like lighters or the flasks, or maybe even the knives. I don't know, it's worth a try. But I'm going to do this right from scratch, and you're going to see the whole thing from start to finish, so this is going to be a little bit longer video. Um, you're going to see me running back and forth between my office and the craft room. You should be able to see both cameras. Me in one corner and the Glowforge in the craft room in another corner. And like I said, I'm starting right from the beginning. I'm going to cut the new tool right here and go from there. I'm from what I think I'm going to need 4 of the horizontal and 2 of the vertical. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and just make 4 of each. Cut and engrave. That's already read the barcode for that. Alright. So we'll go ahead and hit print. Alright, I'll head into the craft room. Alright, I didn't think about the time engraving, and I don't think you want to sit here and watch us engrave for 6 minutes. So I'm going to pause the video now and come back when it starts cutting. Alright, looks like we're almost done. 58 seconds left. I'm going to head into the craft room. Alright, now the fun part, peeling.
Seems like I can never have enough of these. And breaking them or cutting them. This one I have in here. Get a little too close to that one with the laser. Sometimes when I'm pulling them out of the honeycomb, I'll break off one of these legs. So I always cut extras to have them around. And the great thing is you can just cut them out of any piece of scrap that you have. I mean, I happen to have that crude grade, what is it, basswood just laying around that was actually sent to me with the Glowforge, and I wasn't going to use that for anything, so I used it for this. But like I have scrap like this laying around from where I cut out of my my Key West maps that I've been doing, and I could throw probably 2 or 3 of these on there and cut them out. That's great. They're small. You can cut them out of any piece of scrap you have with them. Alright, one more. Alright, so you see there is a vertical and a horizontal one. They are different sizes. The pins are in different places. And the actual pin size is different because the holes going this way are bigger and closer together than the holes going this way. So vertical is going to be this way and horizontal is going to be this way. And they'll only fit that way. And when you first cut them, they are a tight fit. I made these pins to fit the hole pretty snug because I didn't want them, the first couple that I cut, when I inserted them, they were wobbling like this. I wanted them to be pretty solid. So the first couple times you put them in, they're going to be a pretty snug fit, but they will go in. You see, snap's going off already. That's cheap wood. I usually cut them out of something hardwood, so this one's lasted a while for me. There you go. So they will go in. They're just a little tight on that first cut. But remind me not to do it out of basswood again. It's two that have already snapped. Alright. So the reason for the video was to show how I've been using these to do to create my own jig. And you can build them. I mean, no reason you can't put a couple together. I don't want them on the same line. So I hope the camera's getting all the way to this side. As long as you remember where we lined them up the first time, it's not hard to do it again. Just remember I lined them both up into the internal corner. Throw 2 more on there. Alright, so I mean, you can just keep going. I've actually only got 8 of these that I'm going to do. So head back to the computer and see how that looks.
Alright, so here we are. Finished cutting that. I've actually thrown together a design that I want to put on these. Gonna have to size it a little. Or maybe not. It looks pretty close. Maybe a little. By the way, this is my first time cutting on these slate coasters from Michaels, so we'll see how this looks. Alright, I'm just going to copy that. I'll throw one on this one here. Line this one up on the bottom one. Let's copy this one. Yeah, I don't think I grabbed the whole thing. Alright, let's try that again. Why did it work so well on the first one? Alright, let me try to just re-import this. Didn't grab the letters again. guess we're only doing the top two. Yeah, this bottom one's not working out for me. Yeah, we can still show the top two if it works as a jig or not. Since I'm going to end up making 4 of each, I guess we'll just copy this. No, I don't want to do that again. I don't know how the first one worked so well and the second one didn't, but anyways. So, and I forgot there's no slate setting. So I'm going to put it on pause again and go do some research on what the what the power settings I need. Alright, we're back. And Troy Maker to the rescue. I just watched one of his videos. He did 950 power and lines per inch is 270. And I did figure out what I was doing wrong, or at least I figured out how to get the other one in. And y'all are probably going to tell me that you knew this anyways, and probably tell me in the comments I should have done this. So bring the other one in. I don't know how it worked on the first one without doing this, but whatever. Alright, so if I put it there, hit Control C to copy, then move the first one out of the way, Control V, and it puts it back to where I moved it from. So now they're separate. Well, probably should have figured that out, but get the whole thing. Yeah, so now we got them down there. Alright, so we're gonna set them to engrave. Save that. Alright, so engrave, slate coaster, engrave. Alright, so they're all set to engrave with the 950 and 270 setting. Let's go ahead and hit pick anything. See how long it's going to take. And I'm not doing this to see how well these come out, just doing it to show how they work as a jig. These things may come out crappy. I've never engraved on the slate before. And of course, doing the video, I forgot to autofocus, and I believe it just did it by itself and shifted everything around. So I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel. Move one of these out of the way and autofocus on that. I try to always do that before I even place the graphic. I usually do it. I forgot it this time. get them lined up. Not sure if those words are gonna fit on there. I think the bottom one is mostly still fine. Alright, we're gonna run with that. Hour and 17 minutes. Alright, let's go hit the blue button.
We'll watch it for 30 seconds or so while it starts, and then put it on pause and go from there. Yeah, I can already tell I screwed this up. It's still got the background behind it, it looks like. Well, like I said, I wasn't doing these to make them perfect, just to show how you could use them as a jig.
Alright, so you can see from the engraving that started, these coasters probably are not going to be usable, but like I said, that wasn't the point of this video. The point of this video was to show how you can use this tool as a makeshift jig. I'm going to go ahead and put this on pause, and we'll be back in an hour and 15 minutes. Alright, so we're back. You can see you got about 40 seconds left. And I can tell just by looking at the camera and the craft room that they came out as bad as I thought they were going to. That wasn't the point of this, to make perfect coasters. It was to show that you could use these as a jig. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to ruin another four coasters just to show that you can. So, what I'm going to do without changing anything on the computer side, I'm going to, when these finish, go take out those 4 coasters, put in 4 new ones, and come in here and hit print. I guess the point of the jig is not have to align it again or do anything else. Just put them in the same place and reprint as many as you need. So it's going to work or it's not going to work. If it does work, I get 4 more crappy coasters that go in the garbage. But at least the tool works. Alright, I'm going to head in here now. Looks like it's done.
Yeah, definitely gonna look at that design. Gotta take out the background and try to figure out why the Harley symbol didn't show up on the bottom. So we're just gonna remove these. Alright, throw 4 new ones in there. now I should be able to just hit print on the computer again and not have to change anything else.
Alright, from this side it looks like they're lined up. So go ahead and hit, oh, I gotta choose material again. And hit print. Not change anything. See if the jig is working the way it should. Yeah, another hour and 17. Let's go hit the button.
Alright, here we go. So this actually works and does what the jig's supposed to do. I'll get 4 more coasters that are just as messed up as the first 4 and in the same place.
So we'll let that do its thing. Put the video on pause again, and we'll come back at a minute or less left and see how it turns out. Alright, we're back with 10 seconds to go. From here, they pretty much look the same, but we'll see how they look when we get in there and pull them out. You'll probably notice a camera angle change on the Glowforge because the phone was down to 6% and I had to go plug it in, so I had to take it out of the stand, plug it in, and it changed the angle. Let's go look at them. Yep, they look just as crappy as the other ones. Well, let's see. I mean, it looks like placement's the same. So, I mean, it looks like the jig did its job. The design is on me, that's crappy, but the jig did what it was supposed to and put the designs in the same place by lining them up without having to go in and realign in the software. Look at these. I mean, looks the same to me. It's like the same spacing. Yeah, so I mean, it's my crappy design, but the jig worked. I'm gonna try to pull these out. Like I said, with that crappy basswood that I put them on, they're probably gonna break trying to come out. You want to cut these on something sturdier. This I actually cut out a sapele. It's lasted me a while, but I mean, any decent hardwood will probably work. This bass is crap. I also cut them out of acrylic. In the design, there's some mirrored ones if you want to cut out of acrylic. But I'm going to try to pull these out and try to do something that's not square. Well, not do the whole thing, just show how you could do something that's not square. Let's put something along the top here. If this don't break. That's vertical. See, my bad. Gotta put the horizontal one on the top.
Okay, so let's create a base on this side. Alright, so if I want to do something like this, which I can't obviously um, engrave this as plastic. I mean, but if this was wood and I had a design odd shape like this, and I could always do something like this. Make sure I get a horizontal. Put one of these in here. Did it again. It was a vertical. So I could put a horizontal in there. Make sure that I line it up in the same place. Throw in another horizontal. And do something like that with, you know, something on the shape. I mean, you can play with it. You know, if I wanted to, I could put one over here just to make sure that they're flush against this one. You do circles, and there's a lot of stuff you can do just to build something. And this isn't going to be a perfect jig, like something you'd cut out of, you know, out of cardboard or something that's going to be more permanent. I meant this more to be something that you can make on the fly and do it for different designs. Because if you're cutting them permanently out of cardboard, then you have to cut a different jig for each item you're going to cut. You know, I'd have to have a jig for this, and then another jig for this, and then a jig for the knives if I was doing those. Whereas these I can just throw together on the fly, and if they work great. But that's how you can use these as a jig.